Hello, thanks for joining me everybody. Today we are talking about the fate line, which some palm readers call the career line or the Saturn line or even the luck line, but I generally call this the fate line because it does represent more than just the career. So let's get straight into it. I'll bring you a close-up photo and I'll try and draw on it to describe what I'm talking about. Here we go. So I'll use a nice bright red. So normally a clean, straight fate line runs up the middle of the hand, and it's very rare to see one in its perfect form. I've seen this in the perfect form on people who early on in their life decided on their path and they have followed it without diversions and continue on that same path. For example, my doctor, who became a doctor at a young age, she began studying to become a doctor early in life and continues to do so, and it is a very decided path. So it represents your decisions based on not just your career, but based on what you intend to do with your life. So for instance, a completely missing fate line may represent someone who has never made a full decision on what they intend to do with their life. So they may have ideas of what they want to do, but never have any full control of what they wish to do. So this palm here, the fine example of a changing fate line, because here the fate line starts at the moon mount. So there's a lot of creative energy there. There is a particular personality. So this type of career line would not be a traditional career in general. I do have a long video of this particular hand in a previous video that I've done talking about other features. So if you want to go look at that, I'll put the link in the comment section for the rest of the video for this hand. But right now we really need to look at this fate line, how it stops almost completely at the headline. And the headline is this line here. So when the fate line stops directly at the headline, that represents a period in time, usually around the age of 35. I know some palm readers I've noticed on the internet are saying different ages for this, but based on almost all of my experience, I found 35 is more accurate than say 40. However, around age 35, there has been something that made this steady path come to a halt. So often it can be like when you have children or start a different kind of a life. Or it could be that the person no longer knows what they want to do. So the line may have been a clear direction on where they want to head, and maybe things got a bit scattered. So there are fine lines here that represent things happening career-wise, but nothing is on a direct path. And this area where these lines are between this heart line and the headline, this area here is between the age of 35 and 50. So around the middle is approximately, this area here is approximately 42. So that, I'll just cross that off because that's not a part of it. So that shows that there's no real direction. The direction is a bit scattered, and that during that time, anything can happen career-wise. There could be changes in career. It could be the person is trying to come up with what they want to do, trying to clarify their goals and what they really want to do with their life. So they're probably not really focused on the career that they are in currently. They potentially just working for the money, so to speak. So there's not a passion right here. And the fact that after creeping up to the 50 age, there's it's showing these are all these lines that are pointing in that direction of the Saturn, the middle finger. It's like there's all these ideas forming. They're just hanging around there like static, like some energy that's not really come together yet. So there is this group of lines that right now are not really representing the fate line on its own. So they're more like scattered energy. So it's possible that these lines are changing. Although I saw the video that I done of this hand was 4 years ago, and that is very similar. There's hardly any change. So in the 4 years, there's not been a lot of change, but those lines are still there. So that means that there is still something happening in changes happening in the career or goals and their passion in life. And the success line is present here from around in the 50s. It looks like it starts to strengthen. And like in my previous video, I showed that there are these little lines that are creeping up to it. These are like inspiration lines. So from the heart line, from the emotional side, there are these probably lines that represent the passion. And so that the person's, what they're passionate about might eventually become a part of their career. And there's a secondary one here. So there is like two slightly separate sources of income, or two slightly separate goals or hobbies or businesses that come from this inspiration, that come together at this point. I'll just change the color. They look like they're sort of clashing here at this point, which would be in the 50s, beyond 55. So that's a good sign. And the fact that there is no strict fate line, and the fact that the fate line is just partial lines, that shows that there's no real boundaries, there's no restrictions. So there is that openness to make decisions as long as there's motivation. So motivation will help clear these lines up more, and sticking to the goals. If you've heard me mention in other videos before, I talk about the fate line, and all the lines are deeper if a person is thinking along the same lines. So if you're thinking along the same lines, that line becomes deeper. It's like if you want to cross a field and there's no footpath and you have to walk through all the hay, you can make your own path. But if you're constantly walking along that same path, eventually there will be a footpath there. So if your mind runs along the same lines, that's when the lines start to form. So it is basically focus, action, and results. So right now, these lines are a little bit scattered from the age of 35 through to 50, and definitely start to form much nicer from then on. Hope that you have enjoyed that short video on the fate line, and I will put that link for the palm reading for this hand in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.